Hello, and this is Al Thorup, Executive Director for the Indiana Mortgage Bankers Association. And I'm happy to introduce our featured member on this interview here. It is Palmer Myers, who is the Senior Account Manager for Meridian Title in Northwest Indiana, who's also a past president of our state board and president of the local chapter there, and also our membership chair at various points. And with that, Palmer, thank you for your time today. And with that, why don't you introduce yourself to the people and let us know a little bit about you, where you grew up, how you got into the industry and with Meridian, and how you got to be part of the Indiana Mortgage Bankers leadership.
Well, thanks, Al. Like Al said, I'm Palmer Myers. I'm with Meridian Title Corporation. They gave me the title Senior Account Manager a couple of years ago. I guess they're trying to tell me I'm old. But I've been with the company now 20 years in July. Actually grew up in Kent, Ohio, which is right near Akron. My mom was a teacher, professor at Kent State University. My dad was an editor for a trade magazine in Cleveland. We lived there till I was 13. Then we moved out west where my parents bought a weekly newspaper in a little town called Columbus, Montana, where I lived until about halfway through my 11th grade year. And then we moved to Hobart, Indiana in 1978. For a year and a half, I went to school at Hobart, graduated, got a degree from IUN in Gary in organizational communication, and started in the restaurant industry for a few years, managing a couple of bars, a country club, and ended up, a friend of mine was a realtor and talked me into getting into real estate. And I did both jobs, real estate and restaurants, for a few years because I had a little boy then that's now a 27-year-old man, and I needed to pay the bills. And I was a realtor for 9 years. I did enjoy it, but I wanted to do something else. And I really like the people I work with, the realtors, the lenders, builders, etc. And made a couple of calls. I got a job with a competitor for a couple of years in 1999. And like I said, I joined Meridian Title in 2001, and I have been here ever since, loving every minute of it.
Wonderful. Good information. And I didn't know you had been out to Montana earlier in your life.
Yeah, I got rid of the boots and the hat a long time ago.
There you go. There you go. Well, you mentioned early on you made fun of being a senior account manager, but when you were younger, I'm sure you had some mentors that helped you along the way. And in particular, what's the best advice you were given in your career, and who did you get that from?
I remember talking, my first broker for real estate was a gentleman named George Kepshar Sr., and his son, actually, George Jr., talked me into the business. And I think the one thing that both of them taught me was to take the real estate seriously. You never joke about money. This is the biggest, you learn this in real estate school too, Al. Buying a home is probably one of the most stressful things you're ever going to do in your life. So treat that with respect. Treat others like you want to be treated. And that just always stuck with me.
Yeah, well, very good. And it's so true. What's the best part about your job for you?
I think, you know what, it's not boring as it may sound, but just calling on the people every single day, the realtors, the bankers, the builders, the attorneys, get to talk to people such as yourself. It never gets old for me. It's always something new every day. This business is changing, as you know, Al, especially in the lending industry, where compliance and it's changing seems like every second. And I just enjoy the challenge, and it's always fun coming to work. And I've got a great team here I work with. I think we have the best closers, title searchers, examiners in the business.
Yep. Well, very good. And it has been, and hopefully always will be, a people person business. And that's one of the aspects many of us have enjoyed about being a part of it over the decades.
Sure.
Couple of very serious questions to wrap up here. If you had on your phone, you could only get 3 apps on there, what would be the 3 apps that you would want to have on your phone?
Well, my wife and I do like to cook a lot, as you can tell probably from my chins, but I do like to eat out every so often. And so I do like the Yelp app quite often. I like to refer to that to see what other people think of restaurants. I don't tweet but I do follow the Twitter. I got a few like sports people and some different industry related people I follow. I really enjoy that one. And there's another one that I like a lot called, there's a fourth one too, but Plane Finder, where, I like when planes are flying around, kind of cool, kind of looking up. From where I live in Munster, Indiana, we're like in the flight plan for Midway, so I can see the Southwest planes pretty easily. But it tells you, where they're coming from, where they're going, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then the fourth one I like, because I do a lot of the shopping in the house. There's a couple of, I got a couple of grocery apps I rely on quite heavily.
Yeah, well, very good. And the last question is, which is your favorite sports team?
Anybody who knows me, there's only one team. There's two baseball teams in Chicago, and the only one I root for is the Chicago Cubs. And they did win the World Series in my lifetime.
Yes, they did. And while people didn't think it was ever going to happen because of the curse, it happened. So,
and Al, your Lions may do it before your lifetime's over.
I'm hoping, because I think I've shared with you that the Lions won the NFL championship 3 months before I was born. And since then, they've won one playoff game in 63 years. So there's eternal hope in Detroit.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Well, Palmer, thank you for your time this afternoon and your support over the years, along with Meridian's support over the years of the Indiana Mortgage Bankers Association, and best wishes for a wonderful 2022.